Every problem has a solution, except for my shoulder dislocating when I raise my arm. This checklist will prevent you from making dumb mistakes before, during, and after a trade, with explanations for each one. Get free stocks in the description below. The first part of this is for things to look at before a trade. This trade doesn't matter. This is a phrase I've adapted based on something Mark Douglas talked about. Each individual trade isn't as important as the result of 10 trades. When we put too much emphasis on the importance of each trade, it just makes trading that much more nerve-wracking. At the end of the day, this is one that applies to my specific problem, which is trading anxiety. Chill out, idiot. This trade doesn't matter. Then I'm like, oh yeah, you right. I don't know what will happen next. Might seem counterintuitive to learning trading, but unless you have access to the people who are actually moving the market, aka not you with your tiny little baby order. Aw, look at your tiny little market order. Alright, stop making it weird. I accept that I don't know what will happen next. I can only make a bet that it will go to my take profit before it goes to my stop loss. That's all trading is. Anyways, this trade doesn't matter, and I don't know what will happen next. We're all about chilling out. The outcome of this trade is not tied to my self-worth. This one isn't addressing a problem I have because I have no self-worth. Just kidding, don't talk to me. The outcome of this trade doesn't matter to my sense of self. A win doesn't mean I'm smart, and a loss doesn't mean I'm dumb. I'm dumb regardless of the trading result. I wrote this one in here for the 0.1% of people who have a big ego but are also self-aware. This is also for the low self-esteemers. Steamboats. Esteemed clams. Next. Don't just trade because it's fun. Nothing I like more than going ooh-ging-ang on the buy and sell buttons, you know what I mean? Trading is my favorite video game besides Rocket League. By the way, have you ever seen my video about thinking of trading as a video game? Of course you have. You watch all my videos, right? Right? Sometimes we just want to trade because trading is fun. It takes a lot to actually wait for the right moment to trade, especially when spamming the buy button is so easy and fun. Wait for a good setup and ask yourself if you just want to take it because trading is fun. That'll filter out about 80% of your trades for some of you. Now for some things to look at during the trade. Don't close the trade early. Don't move your stop loss further away, and don't bring your take profit in. It's easy to close a trade early for a win, but that just ruins the risk-reward ratio. You don't close your trade for a loss early, so why would you move the take profit? Either plan to close the trade at a realistic spot or don't move your orders at all. This brings me to my next point. Don't even watch it. Trading is scary. If I stare at it and watch the trade happen, my brain will find a way to convince me that I need to get out. That's right, my brain is not me. I'm the awareness of myself. Watch this video in the top right after taking a big bong rip to learn more about that. Anyways, I'm not watching the trade. I make chart go bing bong, stop loss, take profit, and then I go to YouTube and watch videos of cats and pretend like I forgot that a trade was happening. I know the trade is over when NinjaTrader yells either target filled or stop filled. Why would I watch the trade? Why would I move anything? Don't put the take profit 50 points away if you can't handle being more than 20 points in. Next. If you go for big moves, you're not going to get there in one clean move. It's going to pull back. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if the price action just went meow to our take profit? Yeah. Instead, it's going to do some pullbacks at some point. Especially with trading the NASDAQ or S&P 500, you don't just get a big move in one direction. It's going to go a little ways, come back, go a little further, come back, blah blah. Don't chase the move with your stop loss. Wait a while and let it eventually stop you out or reach your target. It's not going to go in one direction for a long time, so chasing it with a stop loss is just going to result in getting stopped out. Price will come back. This is also why I don't watch the trade, because it's hard to stomach a large profit becoming a tiny profit and then back into a large profit. Well, for me, it's mostly just the market going directly to my stop loss, but whatever. You know what I mean. Someday I'll be the greatest trader of all time, and that's a promise. For now, I'm just going to mess up until things start clicking. Same way I learned how to ride a bike, besides the part where I was going downhill and couldn't figure out how to brake as I screamed in terror towards an intersection. Now for after the trade is over. All trades exist independently of all other trades. This is a reminder for when more trades will be happening. It's important to remember that the trade from 1 year ago, 1 day ago, or 1 minute ago has absolutely nothing to do with the next trade. Trades have no memory or consciousness, so don't bring the emotions from one trade into another. Monitor yourself and your emotions. Are you feeling euphoric from a win? Feel it and then get over it. Are you feeling vengeful from a loss? Feel it and get over it. Accept the result as being independent from you, the past, and the future. Every trade is new and they have nothing to do with each other. That transitions into the next one, which is to take a break. Is your head clear? Are you ready to start preparing for another possible trade? The answer is no if you're shaking, which is my problem, or feeling anything other than nothing. You should be in analysis mode when you're ready to take another trade, not mad, happy, sad, or anything else. Feel whatever it is you need to feel, take a break, and then get back to price action. Day trader next door does a 5-minute break. I think I'll do a 10-minute one for now. Next, process over profits. Losing hurts, so drilling process over profits into your head is a good way of coping with the pain. Profit is just a byproduct of acquiring trading skills. Losing implies a lack of skill, which is something we work on and gain every day. This is a good one to help reorient your focus onto variables that you can control. I can't control if I lose or win on a trade, but I can control the effort I put into learning. Don't let a win get to your head in the same way you don't want to let a loss get to your head. Process over profits, or in my case, process over losses. Now let's talk about some more general rules. Remember, the things you look at before, during, and after a trade need to be specific to the challenges that you specifically face. Upping position size is not one of my problems, so I don't have one here. You might need to look at a rule that specifies the position size before you take a trade if that's something that affects you. Every problem has a solution, so find the solution and actually change something about what you're doing instead of just hoping that you'll stop doing it. Personally, I stay away from the high and low of day. My brain seems to get scrambled when thinking about price moving to somewhere it hasn't been for a while. Does that make sense to you? Probably not, but it's something that messes with me. That's my problem. So my solution is to avoid it. Just an example. If you're going to take profits early, there's no point in setting the take profit beyond that level. Why are you moving your price target into a spot that you'll never actually wait long enough to see it play out? Put it in a realistic spot. Maybe that's just something that annoys me rather than something that you should or shouldn't do. Who knows? I'm just a big logic person, so that probably just irrationally upsets me. I don't know why. Don't trade the noise, but also sort of do. Your eyes only look at the bottom and tops of candles to make it seem like you can get a lot. How many of you will look at a big period of consolidation and think to yourself, "Oh man, if only I just kept buying and selling here, there were tons of opportunities." For my studious viewers, you recognize that as a counterfactual statement, which you can learn more about in the top right video card thing. Anyways, our eyes focus on the tops and bottoms of consolidation zones. We naturally look back at the highest and lowest points as if we could have realistically just perfectly called all of the reversals, bottoms, and tops. Our eyes deceive us into thinking it was easy to predict. Remember that next time you're thinking about entries, exits, and what you could have traded. Once again, remember that you need to create rules that address you and are specific to your problems. If you find yourself overtrading, set a limit. Set only 5 per day, and if you do more than that, punish yourself with 200 push-ups for every trade over your limit. There's no secret sauce here to being disciplined. Just do it. Hire a motivational coach to yell at you and slap you when you break your rules. I don't know. Every problem in trading has a solution. The question is just whether or not we want to put in the effort to solve them. There's no one here to hold your hand. Now let's take a look at this chart I borrowed from Trader Tom, who I like. But don't tell him I said that. It's a secret crush. The chart that I borrowed from one of his seminars single-handedly made a massive impact on the way I viewed trading. So let's run through them one by one and talk about them. To preface this, we know that emotions don't really help us make the best trading decisions. This entire section is based on the idea that the desire to avoid pain causes us to make irrational decisions and miss out on making a lot of money. Hopefully, this has as big of an impact on you as it did for me. If your behavior is being driven by the desire to avoid pain, then it's not in your best interest financially. 1. Letting a position go against you. I'm sure we can relate to this. I lost $2,400 when I was a beginner because of this. I just hoped it would come back, which was because of the desire to avoid the pain of the loss. And perhaps deep down it symbolized the fact that I didn't know what I was really doing. Who knows? We all know that it just keeps going further against us, though. Taking profits early / closing the trade. The reason is something like, gotta lock in some profit, a win is a win, or something else. If you close the trade early to take profits, you're not letting the risk-reward ratio play out. The formulas for calculating your win percentage based on how much you lose compared to how much you win doesn't work if you're closing winning trades before it can reach its planned calculated value. Whoa. But we all know that we only do this to avoid the pain of watching a winning trade become a losing trade. You're going against your plan when you close a trade early. And you certainly don't do this for stop losses, so why are you doing it with your take profits? Lowering your trading size is only done to avoid the pain of losing some of what you've made. It's not a rational thing to do. Lowering your size when winning is the same as increasing your size when losing. Both are done to avoid pain, not because they're in your interest of making money. Stopping after hitting a profit goal or something is done to avoid the pain of going from a big winning day to anything less than that. You might keep winning if you continue, or you might not. Remember that every trade exists independently of each other. Losing a bunch of times means nothing, just like winning a bunch of times means nothing. It only means something because we perceive it as having value and meaning, even though they don't. They only matter when it is affecting our mindset in a way that is too intense to quickly disperse with a bit of reflecting and a small break. When you're super flustered or euphoric, just wait until you're back to normal, even if that means waiting until tomorrow. That's different than ending trading just because of being down or up a lot. The two things can exist independently of each other. And the degree to which you are affected by a trade is dependent on you and on what happens. You might be fine with losing 3 trades in a row, but just getting barely stopped out before hitting your profit target might send you over the edge. The things that bother us are completely unique to each trader, as well as the degree to which those things bother us. If you're into trading with someone else's money, use code IMANTrading20 to get 20% off of trade days evaluations and get your free stocks down below. Thank you so much to my patrons. You can still be one of the first few members. Thank you.